and welcome to Kabbalah One, as we said before. My name is Michal. I'm a Kabbalah teacher in the last 10 years. I met the Kabbalah path 15 years ago, and I started as a student. And in the last 10 years, I've been teaching Kabbalah, I can say, all over the world. In the States, in Europe. One place that I didn't get is the Hong Kong, China, but you can never know. So the Kabbalah Center is spread, the wisdom of Kabbalah and the Kabbalah Center is spread all over the world. And we are going to join a mutual journey of 6 weeks to understand what is Kabbalah and actually to understand the deepest questions that we have in our life. So, before we begin everything, I just want to explain about the system of the course. So the course is going to be 6 weeks. If you want to join all the 6 weeks and you want to enjoy the entire course, you must attend the first 3 classes, class number 1, 2, and 3, and then you will receive the invitation for the rest 3 classes that we are going to have. I already saw, by the way, it's very, very exciting. So I'm working at the moment, I'm teaching in Europe, but I'm teaching in Portugal, in South Africa. And I saw in the last 30 minutes that you were chatting with each other, and I think it's unbelievable to see all those countries that we have today. Let me check. Greece, Netherlands, Belgium. Amazing. So in the chat, you can write questions during the class, and at the end of the class tonight, I'm gonna give 10 to 15 minutes. You may stay, you may leave, but we will give 10 to 15 minutes to answer all of your questions, or as many as questions that will be possible. So just write them in the chat. Another thing that we open specially for you is a Facebook page, and it's special closed Facebook page only for our group. So you will see the link later on unless you already received it, and I really encourage everybody to go into this into the Facebook. Basically in the Facebook we're going to put beside the class and the notes and the homework, we will be able to share with each other, and we will show many more classes and wisdom of Kabbalah, things that I'm sure that in 6 classes it won't be enough. So everything will be posted in the Facebook. Something else that we are going to enjoy during this course tonight and for the next 6 weeks is what we call in Kabbalah mentors. Okay? Mentors. Mentors are actually students of Kabbalah that have been studying Kabbalah for years. Okay, 1 year, 2 years, 10 years. And actually they are very experienced with the wisdom. They went through the tools, they went through practicing the Kabbalah, and they are here voluntarily just for you guys, to direct you, to guide you, to assist you with any question, with any anything that comes into mind. And I can assure you that you are going to have questions. Okay, so those are the mentors. They are with us tonight online already, and you are going to be contacted by them at the end of the class. Not tonight, but during the week, before next class. Something else that I want to share with you is that, as I said, we teach Kabbalah all over the world. And in Europe, we are a group of a couple of teachers that teach the entire states, all the countries in Europe. So for this course, because we want to give you the option to meet as many teachers that can be, so for this course, I'm going to have my colleague David Zakin, which is a senior teacher like myself at the Kabbalah Center. Together, we will introduce you to this wisdom of Kabbalah. So I just want to quickly introduce you to David, to give him the option to introduce himself. Okay, so just to say hi, and you will meet him next week. So please.
Hi everyone, welcome. My name is David Zakin. I just want to quickly introduce myself, and because we're going to do this class together, and I'm probably going to see you joining next week. So I've been teaching in the center for 12 years now. I'm a student and a teacher. Been introduced to Kabbalah in Los Angeles, where I was living. I was born in Israel, and in Israel, you have to join the army, and I served the army for 3 years, and it got me to think, what is this world all about? Why do we need to have weapons? Why do we need to have wars all around us? And it got me to a place where I wanted to go and explore the world, and I went travel to many places. Ended up in Los Angeles, where I got introduced to the wisdom of Kabbalah. And there I decided that that's what I want to do and join the team. And since then been teaching all around the world. My main study group is South Africa, and I'm working with many different groups in Europe, and single students from all around the world. I'm looking forward, and I'm very excited about this opportunity that we got from the Kabbalah Centers and its donors to give us the opportunity really to share this course with you for free tonight. And I'm looking forward to working with each and every one of you in the future. So good luck to all of you, and we'll speak soon. All the best. Enjoy it.
Okay, thank you, David. Thank you. Okay, so okay, so as I said, today we studying the Kabbalah level 1. Just for you to know that the path of studying Kabbalah goes through three levels. It's Kabbalah 1, Kabbalah 2, Kabbalah 3. So today we start from the beginning. So as I said again, my name is Michal, for those who are joining us at the moment. My name is Michal. I'm a teacher at the Kabbalah Center in the last 10 years. I'm married, +1. And I want to thank you, actually to take this minute to thank you. I want to thank you for actually giving me the opportunity to share with you tonight. So, today we are going to present to you the ancient wisdom of Kabbalah. So we will learn actually how to use Kabbalah, or how to use the Kabbalistic tools as a spiritual extension tool. Meaning, many people ask me, so 1 minute, so if I'm practicing something else in my life, another path, another wisdom, does it mean that if I'm studying Kabbalah, I need to stop what I'm doing? So the opposite. Many people find that when they study Kabbalah, and with the wisdom and tools of Kabbalah, they can actually enhance it into what they practice at the moment already. And they can even get to a deeper places because of that. Another thing that we are going to study, and we will learn in this course, is basically the practical tools to open our minds. Practical tools to raise our consciousness. And later on, we will talk deeply and long about consciousness and what is consciousness. So, okay, so what's so special about Kabbalah? And what's so special about the way that we, the Kabbalah Center, teach Kabbalah? So if you Googled around, or and we're looking for spirituality or Kabbalah, you will see many places really many organizations and places and teachers that are teaching Kabbalah. But there are two ways to study Kabbalah. There is the wisdom, and is the practical knowledge and tools that will help us to actually practice it in our life. So Kabbalah can be either wisdom, or it can be something very simple and very practical that we use on the day-to-day. And this is what's special about the Kabbalah Center and the way that you are going to study. So, so as we said, it's taught as a way to expand our consciousness. And we will talk deeply about consciousness and what is consciousness. So today, we will learn that inside ourselves there are two types of consciousness. There is a lower level of consciousness, and there is a higher level of consciousness. But before we will go into consciousness and what is lower consciousness and what is higher consciousness, we need to understand that Kabbalah is going to teach us about the laws of the universe. What does it mean, the laws of the universe? It means the way that everything operates. I'll share with you something. You know, I found myself when I was 15 years old, wondering, teenagers girl, wondering, what am I doing here? What is my journey? So, you know, I'm also Israeli. So I thought to myself, okay, so I'm going to finish high school. I'm going to go to the university for sure, even if I don't want, because my parents will send me. I'll finish my school, high school. I will get married. I'll bring kids. I'll open a business. I will not open a business. Whatever it is that I would like to do in my life. And that's it. I'll get married, family, kids, get old, happy, maybe not, maybe yes, and die. And I found myself at the age of 15, depressed, really depressed about this feeling and thought that what's the purpose of life? What is the purpose? What are we doing here? So the wisdom of Kabbalah is going to teach us the journey of the soul. Because our soul came here for a journey. And we will learn to find out what is this journey. We will understand the spiritual and the physical laws of the universe. What does it mean to understand the spiritual and the physical laws of the universe? It means to understand how everything is being operated. We will learn today basic tools that will help us already this week, if we will practice them, to really shift the way that we look at the world, the way that we look at our life, and probably will bring a great results, which we will discuss next week and we will check it together. So, Kabbalah, basically, Kabbalah is coming from the ancient Aramaic word, which means to receive. We want to receive. What I want to ask you now, and I want you to chat with me, is, 1 minute, let's go here. Okay, what I want you to send me on the chat now is, let's imagine that an angel is coming from the sky and is asking you today, what would you like to have in your life today? If I could offer it to you, if I can give it to you, what would it be? So please write me in the chat. Take a minute, and anything possible, no limitations, no barriers, not yes possible, not possible, just anything in mind. What would you like to receive in your life? Because Kabbalah is all about receiving. Receive something special that our soul came here to do. So what will it be? Please guys, share with me. Okay, so take another minute and I will continue. So basically, Kabbalah, it's not a religion, Okay? Kabbalah is a wisdom, not a religion. And it's a wisdom that will help us to understand all the concepts of the universe and all the laws of physical and spiritual. Okay. People from all over the world study Kabbalah. Religious free, not religious free. And it says for many of them, for example, Shakespeare, Mozart, Beethoven, people that had nothing to do with religion, they practice Kabbalah. For Mozart, for example, it said that he couldn't even write music. Probably you know that, right? He didn't know how to write music, but still, everything that he has received, he channeled it. He got it. It says that he woke up in the morning and he just played the music. Where is it coming from? Shakespeare. I'll share with you something else about myself. So I used to study theater. Okay, when I was in high school, I used to study theater. My number one was Shakespeare, because his text was so deep and so profound and so fascinating that I didn't understand how a person can write such things about the universe 450 years ago. Where did he have this wisdom from? We will learn also that Kabbalah is very, very ancient wisdom. It's a 6,000 years old wisdom. And it goes through a very, very respectful lineage of Kabbalists, which we will talk about them later. But where did they get all those information? Kabbalah. It's known that they were practicing Kabbalah. So, we spoke before, I asked you to write me in the chat, what would you like to receive in your life, right? So first of all, to understand, the Kabbalists are talking about two concepts, two types of fulfillment. What does it mean, fulfillment? Things that we would like to receive in our life. So the Kabbalists are talking about short-term fulfillment and long-term fulfillment. What does it mean, short-term fulfillment? It's something that I want and I want it now, and I want it in my way. Usually, unfortunately, as we can see in life, those are the things that do not last. For example, I want to find the love of my life and I want it now. So what happens? The guy is coming and there are butterflies and fireworks and everything is amazing. And unfortunately, after 5 years, I'm looking at him and I really don't understand what I'm doing here. Short term. Long term, this is what we truly, the Kabbalists explain, this is what we truly came here to this world to achieve. Because the type of fulfillment that we want is not a temporary one. I don't want money only for 1 year. I want money for the rest of my life. I don't want to be in love for 2 weeks. I want to be in love and loved and respected and shared life together for the entire life. I don't want it for 10 years, even 50 years is not enough. You know, unfortunately, I know people, they're already 70 years old and more. They married for 50 years, but they already knew 30 years ago that it's not gonna last, that it's not the one. So when we talk on different types of fulfillment, we talk about short term, it's something that I get, that it's exciting, that I get it now, but I don't know exactly how long it's gonna last. Long-term fulfillment, it's something that will last. We will talk and we will learn how to achieve long-term fulfillment in our life. So you wrote many things in the chat of what would you like to achieve and to receive in life. So we all want money. We want, I don't know if you actually see the slide, let me do something. Okay, so we all want in our life, we want prosperity and we want love. And some of you said happiness and health. Who doesn't want to be healthy? And I want to be creativity and think out of the box. And I want my soulmate. I really want my soulmate. I'm searching for it for so long. And I want miracles every day. The Kabbalists are saying that the reason why we came here is to achieve all of that. Not only one and not even two, but to achieve fulfillment in every aspect and area in my life. Okay, so let's see a little bit examples for short-term and long-term fulfillment. So for example, attraction and love. So in the short term, I want this passion, I want to be attracted to somebody. But truly, does it last? No. What lasts for longer is love. Is true love. That unfortunately some of us already stopped to even dream about it. Because it's not always available. House versus home, right? Do I have a house? Do I want just the house? You know, there are people that for 10 years, I know a couple that for 7 years were building their dream house. And I visited this house. It is a dream house. But what do we really want? Do we want those walls? Or do we want a home? A place to come and to be together and to feel love and warmth. Money or security? Because many times we say money, but truly, what money brings with it to the table? Security. So what do we want? We need to start to think like that, guys. Do we want short-term fulfillment, or do we really starting to point to the long-term fulfillment? Do I want just to have goals or growth in my life? Do I want to win the lottery? Or do I truly want to earn my money? And you know that it shows that most of the people, I don't want to say percentage, but very high percentage of people that won the lottery actually lost everything. Either they lost it, or they got tremendously sick, or all kind of chaotic situations after winning the lottery. So what do we want? Do we want just like that to win it? Like, give it to me. I want to have it now. Or do I truly want to earn something that will stay, that will go with me? Do I want children? Just let's bring children, let's bring kids. Or do I want to create a family? What do I want? Do I want a partner in my life? Somebody just to live with, to feel good next to, not to be afraid to go to sleep by myself at night? Or do I truly want relationships? And what is true relationships? And we will learn about it as well. Because the highest percentage of divorce all over the world is because of one thing. People truly don't understand relationship. What does it mean to be in relationships? What's the meaning? What's the purpose? In this course, we are going to go deeper and to understand the purpose of our life, the purpose of our journey. Okay, so according to Kabbalah, we came here to reach our full potential, 100% from everything. So how do we do that? I want you to look at the screen now. Okay, look at the screen, please. And please count how many F letters are in this paragraph. Okay? Go over this paragraph and let me know, write me in the chat, how many F letters are in this paragraph. Please. Okay. Okay, so I see many answers. Okay. 1 minute. We have a small technical problem, so hang on with me for a second. Okay. Let's do it like that. Okay. So, how many F we have? So I see 4, 5, 2. Okay. So let's go together. Okay, it's very funny. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have actually 6F, but it's tricky, right? Because when we just read it with our robotic way of thinking, we just went through the whole thing. Let's go to the next example. Okay. So what I want you to do, before we start, you're going to see a short movie. Okay, you're going to see a short movie on the screen. And what I want to ask you to do is to count how many times the group that wears white shirts, how many times they pass the ball between each other. Okay? How many passes of ball? Go ahead.
Test of selective attention. Count how many times the players wearing white pass the basketball. How many passes did you count?
Okay. Okay. So we see that the correct answer is 15 passes. Okay, 15 passes. But what we didn't see, or share with me if you saw it or didn't see it, did you see the gorilla that is walking and crossing the room? Okay, so take a look again.
This is a test of selective attention.
It's actually very funny
Players wearing white.
because I didn't see it in the first time. So, and also share with me if you saw it or not. Okay? So this is what we saw at the beginning. It just went back a little bit. So this is what we saw at the beginning. Okay.
How many passes did you count? The correct answer is 15 passes. But did you see the gorilla?
So check it out. Do you see? Okay, so this is our gorilla. So it's funny, right? How when our attention is going towards one thing, we're missing some other components in the picture.
And is copyrighted.
Okay, next.
It's available for use in talks and training.
Okay, so I want you please to look at this picture. Okay, let's do it together. Look at this picture and let me know, what do you see? What shows in the picture. And if you can write me in the chat, please. Okay. Let's give you 10 more seconds. Okay. So let's see together. Let's look together at the picture again and check it out. Check at the wall. Forget about the face of the old man, okay? Let's focus first on the wall. On both sides of the wall, right? On the right side of the gate and the left side, do you see faces? There are hidden faces. And if you look carefully inside the face of this man, his nose and his chin are actually creating an old man. And his ear is a woman, right? A woman that holds a baby. And the hands that supposedly hold the jacket or whatever it is that he's wearing, it's a dog, right? Okay, next. We will understand the purpose of it shortly. Now look at this board. Are the lines equal to each other? Are they parallel? Or actually are there some squares that are bigger than the other? Please. Okay. Parallel, not parallel. Okay. So actually the answer is that they are parallel. Now look at this vase, okay? Look at this vase. What do you see? Okay, so on one hand we see the vase, right? But if we would look carefully at the frame of the vase, it's actually two faces, right? There's a face on the right and there's a face on the left. And something that is really cool, look at it, the faces are not the same face. It's different faces. Now, if you will try to look and to capture both together, meaning to see the vase and to see the faces both at the same time, try to do it. Try now with me together on the screen. It's impossible. So meaning that we have a full picture in front of us, but it is only one dimension that we can see. We cannot look both at the same time at the faces and the vase. The Kabbalists are saying that actually using our five senses bring us to a place of illusion. The five senses are very, very tricky. We think that we see one thing, but actually there is a bigger picture. Okay, like a friend shared with me today the example of if you climb on the Empire State Building and you look on the city, what would you see? Lots of streets and cars and people and movement, right? But if you will go down to the street, what will you see then? Few people around you. The reality, as we understand it, at least as we understand it today. But I hope it will change after this class. Let's put the screen back to normal. Okay, so the reality as we see today is very limited. And unfortunately, we judge and we jump to conclusions according to what we see, what we hear, and what we feel. And when we just do this exercise in the class with looking at the picture, that's fine. But what happens when we use it in life with serious decisions that we need to make? With serious intuitions, supposedly intuitions that we're listening to. How does it show in life? Did it happen to you? And it happened to me. And share with me. And you're open. I'm inviting you to be open about it. Did it happen to you? that you went on a date and you saw this guy or woman which looked amazing. Everything was in the right place. The look, the smell, the talk, the gestures, everything was right. But then after a month or 2 months, you had no idea what you're doing with this person. More than that, how many times did you choose the wrong partner for your business? I just heard today a story from a student of mine, okay, that they used to invest in stocks, in shares, and everything went well and everything was really promising. And then they decided, let's increase it, right? And let's join some more people to this investment and let's win big time. And everything was okay and everything was good. And in 1 second, and it happened in a blink of an eye with the last crisis, the financial crisis that happened in Europe. They lost everything. Everything. And she told me, you know, Michal, leave the fact that we lost our money. But to go to those people that we took money from and to say, I'm sorry, but you're not going to see your money anymore. And I asked them, but what happened like 2 weeks before? No, everything was certain. Everything looked amazing. It looked like the best investment. So how can we bring ourselves to a place that we have certainty in our life, that we do not judge just according to our 5 senses? Because as the Kabbalists explain, if we do that, we can only capture a little picture, a little piece of the picture. So the Kabbalists explain that things do not happen just like that. Did you hear the word suddenly? All of a sudden a crisis. Suddenly, God forbid, suddenly I got sick. Suddenly I got fired from my job. Suddenly this and suddenly that. Kabbalah explains there is no sudden coincidence in our life. There is no sudden occasions. Everything, just like the tree, has seed and fruit, cause and effect. Meaning, if I'm planting today in my garden seed of apple tree, I probably shouldn't expect in a year from now to find an orange tree. Right? If I do, there's a different problem with me. But I will not expect. Everything starts with the seed level. Seed level is our consciousness. Seed level is our thoughts. The Kabbalist, or before we go to the Kabbalist, explain that as consciousness. 2 types of consciousness. But when we want to understand, before even consciousness, what is spirituality, right? Because we all want to go on a spiritual path and we all want to transform and change our life. So spirituality is actually consciousness that affects every area in my life. Spirituality is consciousness. What does it mean, consciousness? Consciousness is awareness. To be conscious about something is to be aware that something is happening. And if I know that I do not see the big picture, like we saw in the previous exercises, I don't see the big picture. And maybe what I see today, it's not what I will see tomorrow, because the 5 senses are tricky. So how do I can tap into another level of consciousness, a higher level of consciousness that will actually help me to bring into my life all those things that we mentioned, all those fulfillments that we mentioned, that we want. That's actually what our soul came here to do. But we need to understand that for everything there is the fruit and the seed. So when we're talking about the fruits, when we're talking about already the results, we are talking about a body level of consciousness, a very low level of consciousness. So body consciousness, it's like we mentioned before, this is the short-term fulfillment. Meaning, let's share some situations. So if I'm going on a business, okay, I'm going to a business appointment, and I'm thinking actually short-term, how am I going to make money from this person, from this company, with my idea? But I do not look at the long term. I do not look at the end result. Probably this is what will connect me to a body consciousness. Body consciousness is something that I want now, and the leading thought to achieve it is what will happen with me. Body, it means something that has to do with me. Long term, which is soul consciousness, it's a bigger thought. It's the bigger picture. It's actually, like we will see soon, it's to connect to a different dimension that exists in this universe, in which from this dimension, all the blessings of our life will come. All the fulfillment that we want will come. We will learn how to tap into this consciousness. We will learn how to tap into this reality. So when we talk about higher level of consciousness, basically we're talking about reaching this place that will help me to see my truth, that will help me to see my path, that will help me to see why did I come here, what's my purpose. So basically, consciousness, it's a state of mind, okay? It's a state of mind that affects my belief system. And I want to share with you today a story. By the way, you will see that during the course, I'm sharing many stories. I love stories. I'm going through many experiences in all those years, and I think it's a great way to connect. So there was a story about this man, farmer, an old farmer, that had a boy, you know, like 20 years old, something like that. And they used to harvest the land, you know, and they used to work really, really hard. One day, suddenly, which there's no suddenly, a horse appears in the farm. Fine, strong, beautiful horse. So what do? They take the horse, because it for sure doesn't belong to them. They are taking the horse, and they go along the village just to make sure that nobody lost the horse, or to see if this horse belongs to somebody else. And everybody, no. Okay, what should we do? Let's keep the horse. So the horse is an amazing thing, because it's a great help with walking the land, right? Walking with the daily things that they are doing. So then the people are coming, and they see this farmer, and they're telling him, "You are such a lucky guy. How did you get such a fine horse?" And he tells them, maybe I'm lucky, maybe I'm not lucky. And everybody looks at him like crazy, you know? So after 2 weeks using the horse and being happy about it, the son of the old man is falling out of the horse and breaking his legs, both of them. So everybody's rushing and want to help. And you know how we are such a good people. So the first thing that everybody comes to this farmer to say, "You are such an unlucky guy. Look at this horse and look what it brought into your life. We are so sorry for you." So what did this farmer tell them? Maybe. And maybe not. I don't know. A month later, the army comes, and there's a war that going on, and the army is recruiting all the young people to the battle. So they come, and the son of the old man, with broken legs, so they cannot take him. So then the people come to this old man and they tell him, "You are so lucky. They took our sons, they took our children, and your son is with you." And what does he tell them? He tells them, maybe yes and maybe not. What is consciousness? What is consciousness, guys? A consciousness is a state of mind which will affect my life. The way that I see the reality. It's up to me. So, when we're talking today about consciousness, and we're talking about bringing this wisdom of Kabbalah that was for 6,000 years existing, but bring it into our home, bring it into our life, and make it simple. We're actually talking about two people, which are the Rav and Karen Berg, which is the founders of the Kabbalah Center. And after this course, you're gonna have in their Facebook page a very special message from Karen Berg, which we will talk about it as well later, but Karen is the reason for the entire world study Kabbalah. So what we want to do actually in our life is to tap into a reality that is the 99% reality. It's the reality that actually it's the reality where everything is happening. And the people that brought this concept 1% reality, 99% reality, are actually the Rav and Karen. You will not find it in another place. But what does it mean? It means to already start to connect to a place that is much higher than my 5 senses, that is much higher than time, space, movement, body. The 99% level is this place of dreams. It's the unseen. It's this intuition that we have. Did it happen to you once that you were thinking about a person, just thinking about him, and the phone rings and he calls? This is to start to communicate and to connect on the 99% level. We want to tap to it. We don't want our life anymore to be sudden. We don't want our life to be judged with something that is unclear. So each and every one of us has one area in his life in which he's good at. For example, there are people that are good with kids. There are people that are great problem solving, right? We will go to them for any situation to get their advice. There are people that are amazing communicators. When we have, and each one of us has, one area in his life which is amazing, it means that in that area he is already connected to the 99%. But what we want to achieve in our life is connection to the 99% in every area in life. So I want you to send questions, and I want to start to answer some questions. So I just want a quick recap. So we spoke today about a little bit the wisdom of Kabbalah. We spoke about the illusion of the 5 senses, right? How we cannot judge reality. How many times things supposedly appear and happens in our life, but there's no supposedly. There is cause and effect. There's a seed level for everything. Seed and fruit. What we plant in the seed, this is our consciousness. Consciousness connecting us to the 99% realm, which is this reality. It's a parallel reality in which all the blessings in our life and all the fulfillment will come from. What we will learn to do is to tap to this reality, because in our life, unfortunately, most of the time we are connected to the illusion. the Kabbalistic tools will teach us how to connect to the 99%, how to raise and elevate our consciousness to a higher place. So every class, after every class, I'm going to give you homework, in which we call them light work. What does it mean? It's some simple exercise that will help you to emphasize everything that we have studied. And if you have more questions, by the way, or more comments, or you want to share, you are welcome to go on our Facebook page, in which all the team of teachers in Europe are actually going to be there for you, almost 24/7, to help and assist and to guide you. So your homework for the next week is like that. We will also, by the way, post the homework in the Facebook. So if you don't get a chance to write down or to remember, just go to the page. So the first step to making a real change is becoming aware of how and based on what level of consciousness I'm making my decisions, right? Soul or body, illusion or the real reality. What we're asking you today and for the following week to do is to check at the end of the day, to take 2 or 3 situations that you had and to check where was my consciousness. What was the first step, the first thought? Was I operating from the highest level of consciousness, or was I taking my decisions from the 1%? Did I let my 5 senses to mislead me? Or did I try to tap to something bigger? I tried to zoom out and see a bigger picture. Okay guys, so this is your homework, and thank you so much for being here today. I hope you got something from today. Next week, the second class of Kabbalah Level 1 is actually the most important class in the course, because on the second class we are going to answer the one and the only one question: what am I doing here? What's the purpose of this world? What's creation? How this world was created? And what's my role in this huge picture? This is next week. So thank you all, and I'm staying here. We're going to stay here for 10 to 15 more minutes to answer your questions. So please, let's take a minute, post your questions on the chat, and I will try to accommodate them, or at least some of them. Thank you. Okay, we will take another half of a minute just to let you write everything. Okay, guys, so we are back. So one of the more popular question that came up, and it's a very good one, and you know okay, let me first say the question and then I'll share something with you. So the question is, how do I walk, or how do I recognize when my thoughts are coming from the 1% or they are coming from the 99%? How do I know that I'm operating with my 5 senses only and not from a bigger picture? So one thing that I want to share with you, you know, that for me, okay, when I've just started to study Kabbalah, it took me some time to understand and to really bring it into my life. So all those questions that you bringing up just takes me like 15 years ago. And the answer for that is, beside practicing, the answer for that is awareness, being aware. And one thing is for sure, that having wisdom is having awareness. For example, I can give an example of a little boy, okay, that he takes a rock and he plays with the rock, and he actually wants to throw it over towards the window. We would look from the side, we will actually see that it's not just a rock, but this child is actually holding an unpolished diamond in his hand. And what he wants to do, he wants to throw it. Being aware of something, having the knowledge about something, is the first step. Today, we got this wisdom and knowledge that actually there are two realities in our life. That actually we tend to follow our senses more than to follow something that is might be bigger, like bigger picture. What's the truth? What should I decide? Just by having this awareness, and this is something that I would like you to do for the upcoming week, this is actually the light work, is to be aware of my actions. How am I aware of my actions? I'm asking questions. What does it mean to ask questions? The fact that I look back at my day and I'm asking myself, was I operating from a lower level of consciousness, which is body, which is the 5 senses, or was I operating from a higher place of consciousness? Just this thought will connect me to the 99%, will connect me to the bigger picture. Why? Because we said that consciousness is a thought. So just by thinking about it, to begin with, I will give more tips and we will learn together. Mostly we will learn from practicing. But just looking back at my day and raising this question and checking myself will bring me the answer. And the second thing that I can give you a tip, it has to do already with next class, but it will be a small teaser. The one question that I need to ask myself to really to help me to see more where am I operating from is the following question, and it will be hard for you now, okay? So the question is, who am I thinking about at this moment of decision? Am I thinking only about myself and what's in it for me? Or am I thinking about the other person as well? Am I thinking about the wellness of everything, the bigger picture? So this is the second tip for this question. Another question, how do I know what my decisions are based on? Unfortunately, we do not know at the moment. When do we know? When something happens, right? When a relationship breaks after 20 years, then I'll figure out something was wrong. I did not choose the right one. Or when my business will collapse, I will get to the conclusion something was wrong. Because in our universe, and it's also, you by the way, you're asking very advanced questions, and it's great. But you're already asking questions that has to do with next week, next class. But how do I know how do I know what my decisions are based on? In our life, we, in this dimension, in the 1% level, we live with the barrier, with the challenge of time. And time is the one thing that disconnects us from cause and effect. Because if we would see cause and effect right away, right? I'm doing something, I see the effect, boom, I've learned my lesson, not going to do it again. But in our life, we have repetitive situations and things happening again and again. So how do I know how to base my decisions on? We need to check very carefully what's my intention in this move. What's my thought and what's the end goal? Again, usually what we're thinking about is short-term fulfillment. I cannot stand him, let's cut the connection. Let's cut the relationships. But there's a bigger picture. What do you mean you cannot stand him? Also, it has to do with the journey of our soul, that we will learn about it in 2 classes from today. So, how do I know if I reach the 99%? The $1 million question. How do I know that I reached the 99%? Usually, I will not feel butterflies and excitement. Because remember, excitement sometimes is illusion, and it connects to the lower level of consciousness. I will, just by raising the question and wanting to tap into the 99%, just by raising the question, and this is the tip that I gave you actually to do for the following week. Ask the question. By asking, we opening. That's what the Kabbalists are teaching us. That just by asking the question and being aware of 2 realities, I'm already opening channel to connect with the 99%. Now there are more steps to come. Okay? There are more steps to come to know. But usually it will be the one thing that does not excite us and the one thing that doesn't look realistic. Usually. Because what's realistic, unfortunately, until today, didn't bring us to where we wanted to come, to arrive. Do you have to be Jewish to study Kabbalah? So I think we started the course with Kabbalah is not religious, Kabbalah is wisdom. Kabbalah is wisdom, it's a universal wisdom. And the first Kabbalist actually was Abraham. And he wrote the book of formation before even religion was exist. Religious, it's a very new thing. It's like in the last 2,000 years. 6,000 years ago, 4,000 years ago, in the days of Abraham, there was no religion. There was no differences between people. Abraham was the first man that was exposed to this wisdom and connected to this level. And you can Google, the book that he wrote was the book of formation. And this book has only 3 pages, that it's really, really hard to decode them. But in those 3 pages are the secrets of the entire universe. So to the question, is Kabbalah, do I have to be Jewish? You have to be spiritual. You have to be somebody that is on a journey, on a spiritual journey, that wants to find his purpose. And he understands that to find his purpose, he needs to understand the universe. That's Kabbalah. It's the laws, the physical and the spiritual laws of the universe. And I think it will make much more sense next week when we will talk about creation. Because with the process of creation, it's the understanding of our whole being. It's understanding the journey of our soul. Okay, guys. So thank you so much, and thank you for allowing me to share with you tonight. Please continue. You have many questions, but our time is very limited, and please go on the Facebook, post your questions, share, put comments. We will try to accommodate all of you, and I'm looking forward to see you next week. So all the best.